Because how could you sell your corn and wheat and your cabbage and onions if you had nobody to eat them? It says in the book of Revelation they're going to bring their produce in. But it's going to be a little different trip, because in that kind of land there'll be no cursed thistles. And all that we read about a while ago in 21:4. No death. There are going to be some leaves for the healing of a nation, I believe, and a few other little items. Basically, what we need to see is that verse 40 is talking about heavenly bodies and earthly what? One kind will be the glory of those that are what? Heavenly, and another kind, that of what? Good. Verse 41. There is another glory of the sun, and glory of the moon, and glory of the stars. Hey, what do we spend on that little trip up there we can't get in operation? Taxpayers' money? I saw it in writing. It blew my mind. Wish we had it to spend for the outreach of the Word. We couldn't fluff it any worse. But isn't it something we can live in a country and just let it go on and on and on and on? Well, we're going to need a new heaven and a new earth, that's for sure. Verse 42. So is the resurrection of the dead also. It is sown in what? Sown in corruption. It is raised, what? Incorruption. So only the dead can be raised incorruptible. You have to be dead to corrupt, and only corruption can be raised how? Incorruption. Verse 43. It is sown in dishonor because it's going to do what? Corrupt. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness because of man's frailty, but when it's raised in what? Right. See, we shall have a body fashioned like unto his glorious body. Verse 44. It is sown a natural body, because all that can go into the grave is the man of body, because his soul, it was his last breath. It's sown a natural body, but when it's raised, it's what kind of a body? Nobody knows what that body's all about. They never had the privilege of taking Jesus Christ into the laboratory at Harvard or Princeton or KU or Ohio State. So they never had, nobody knows what that body was all about. We know a little about it from the Word, but that's all you know. You know. You could be on the road to Emmaus one time and next minute be inside of a room that had the doors bolted with Yale locks and all the rest. Another time he could be on the shores of the Sea of Galilee and say to Peter, fellas, you catch any fish last night? He could invite them over and give them fish and bread for breakfast and partake with them. I don't understand. I don't care to understand. I just know it's true. Understanding a lot of things I don't understand. Got all the future to learn all that stuff. Eternity. Catch up. There is a natural body, and there is also a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living soul. When God breathed into him the breath of life, the Word says he became a living what? The last Adam, Jesus Christ, when God did something in him, he became a what? Quickening spirit. And the word quickening is life-giving or living spirit. I know what the life of the body and soul man is, but I do not know what the life of the resurrected body is, except that it's a life-quickening spirit. What is it? Came from God? I don't know. I know it's a life-quickening spirit, that's all. Verse 46. Howbeit, nevertheless, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterward, after the natural, that which is what? Verse 47. The first man is of the earth, dust. The second word, earthy, is the word dust. That's the truth. The second man of heaven. Scratch the words, is the Lord from. And above the word from, put the preposition of, because that's the text. The first man is of the earth, dust. The second man of heaven. Because it has a life-quickening what? Spirit. Which cannot die. Verse 48. As is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy. And as is the heavenly, such are they also which are what? And as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall bear the image also of the heavenly. Verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood are not able to inherit the kingdom of what? Neither doth corruption inherit what? Incorruption. Now, behold, I show you a mystery. Now the whole thing changes. Now the whole thing changes, and he's going to show it to us. Well, if you're going to show it to us, then we know it. I show you a mystery. We shall not all what? Be sleeping is the text. I want to give you another little clue to rightly dividing this word. You've got to understand that you're dealing many times with people who were Israel, but because of the change on the day of Pentecost, they moved from Israel into the church of the body, where they're no longer Jew nor what? Got to watch it. We shall not all be sleeping, but we shall all be what? Right. Changed. Now that does not say that we're all corruptible, but we're all going to be what? If it's corruptible, the corruptible has to put on what? But there has to be something else be able to happen if we're not all going to be what? Sleeping. In a moment, verse 52, moment is the word atom, A-T-O-M. In the twinkling of an eye, faster than an eyeball twinkles. At the last trump. Now that's not pinochle. You see, in the book of Matthew, it talks about the last trumpet too. But it's talking about Israel.